Hey folks, Instinct Survivalist here. Notice that we are kinda outside today. The reason being is because we're not talking about camping, fishing, bushcraft, things like that. We are talking about a form of survival. What I mean by that is you have regular survival, which is your food, your gear, whatever you need to make sure that you're surviving in a scenario, if you will, out in the wilderness, out in the wild, or even an urban environment. However, that goes one step further when we start looking at tactical gear. So today I want to talk to you about QuadraTactical Sidekick. This one's actually the seven holder Sidekick, and it's designed for 12, 16, and 20 gauge shotgun shells. Now, one of the things I like about this, first off, Andrew Quadrato, and brother, if I messed up your name, please excuse me. I am so sorry. Anyway, Andrew over at QuadraTactical actually hand makes each one of these, and the best part about these, in my opinion, is the durability of it. And what I mean by that, and I'm gonna give you an example, is this is the Walmart brand. This is by Black Sheep. I got this when I was a kid, and it slides over the stock of my shotgun. Okay, at the time, it is designed for a 12 gauge shell. That's it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less, and you only got 5. Now, granted, most of the boxes only hold 5, so not a big deal as far as that goes. The other part about the QuadraTactical is you can get them in 5, 7, 2, and I can't remember the other sizes. So you got options as far as that goes. Now, the other piece about it, when I do the comparison overall, this has been going on for years. This has lasted me for years. The one thing I hated about it, did not like about it at all, is eventually this sleeve, which is elastic, and you see it's kind of stretching just a little bit, it's wore out. So I put it on the stock and it slides up and down. Okay, that presents a problem. This is Velcroed on. Now I'm going to pull this Velcro off. At least the cotton side of it. You still got the hook, the hook side of it connected to the Kydex, which is connected to the elastic bands. But I don't know if you saw my face on that. This is not easy to pull apart. Okay, it's not. The reason being is because this is industrial strength Velcro. It is the Velcro brand. I don't know if you can see that, but it is the Velcro brand. And it is very durable. Now, it's actually fused into the Kydex, so it's not going anywhere. Okay, you're not looking at, oh, hey, guess what? I pull it and then the whole piece comes apart. It's actually fused in there. The other part is when I pull the shells out, these are double stitch loops. Okay, they're not sharing a single stitch in the middle. Each loop has its own stitch. Okay, which means that there are 2 stitches in between the 2 shells. Now, why is that beneficial? Why is this helpful to me, and why do I even want one of these? Well, several reasons. Number one is because where you sit this, or where you have this, becomes part of your preparedness scenario. If you're looking at urban environments, if you're looking at urban scenarios, if you will, and we just talk about a house break-in. Okay, if you've got an entry into your house, I need to be able to get to my shells quickly if I need to refill my shotgun. Now, the shotgun I use, I'm gonna be honest with you, it is a hunting shotgun. Still has the long barrel, love it to death, but come in a scenario that I need it, guess what happens? Right, it's the first one to get pulled if I don't have my sidearm near me. All right. What I can do is I can mount this because of the glue and because it is industrial. It's not going to go anywhere even with the weight added to it. I can mount this on a door frame, back of the door, underneath the cabinet, underneath the desk, side of the desk, on the dash of or underneath the dash of a vehicle. Okay, so we're even taking it one step further. Additionally, what it was designed for was to go on the actual shotgun. Now, if I had a tactical shotgun, guess what? Mount this sucker on a heartbeat, no doubt. I've talked with Andrew several times about the durability of this, and I would have no issues putting it on side of my tactical shotgun. I don't need 7 shells attached to the side of my hunting shotgun. Okay, I like it, I like the gear, but I would use this one as a spare, if you will. Now, some of the other benefits in looking at this specific one, there are others out there. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. I've actually seen some that Andrew's actually posted up. Some of the other ones won't hold but one size shell. So if I look at this, I want to get a varied amount so I can have, you know, two 12s, 2 16s, and 3 20s, then I can do so. Okay, I have the ability to go in and do varied shells in there. One of the other benefits is if I were to keep these in this box, then what happens over a period of time is this box starts deteriorating. Now, many of you do not keep it in the box. I get it, not a problem, no worries, no fuss, no muss. However, if this box gets damp, then what happens is, and you can probably see the green that's in here, I had to go in and do a lot of cleanup on some shells this past week because the the brass rather, copper, I'm not sure where I even got that from, the brass rather is starting to corrode. What's going to happen at that point is you've now deteriorated them in a box, you've wasted money, and we'll just go ahead and call that what it is, but you're also looking at tearing up your weapon. Okay, if I were to slide one of these in with all the corrosion on the brass, then what happens with that is it can get jammed, and if you are in a scenario, then that could cause to a bigger problem, meaning I can't take and fire a second shot. I'm not saying that I always have to have a second shot. In fact, this week I actually won a medal for a shooting contest. I was very pleased with that. I actually did well in pistol, rifle, and submachine gun. Now, I will give you this little tidbit of information. All the weapons were from 1941. So it was the Colt 1911, the M1 Garand, and a Thompson sub. I had a blast. It was great. But those aren't reality, right? So if I were to go in and get that second shot off or need that second shot, then I want to make sure that I've got enough ammo to last me through that scenario. Now, the other part of this is, and I'm looking at my notes, Andrew's got on his eBay site a 2-pack sidekick. In other words, just 2 of these, right? Just 2 shells, sidekick. And I like the way the picture's got it mounted in the description, but it's $9.95. Okay, again, industrial Velcro, Kydex, and multi-size loop. Now, I understand it is elastic, but it's small enough to fit your 16 or your 20 gauge, and especially your 12 gauge, for those of you that go that route. Now, do you need this for preparedness? Do you need this for an urban survival situation or even a suburban survival situation? Not necessarily. However, one of the things to think about is I want to be able to use it on a day-to-day basis. If I were to carry my shotgun around and I were to mount this, I would mount it so that I could go in and have extra shells. Now, what if I had a vest, right, again, industrial Velcro fused into the Kydex, and keep in mind, we're looking at Kydex, right? Goes back to straight. I can actually take and stick it on my vest and do so. Okay, so I do have these shells with me all the time. So regardless of the situation, regardless of what we're looking at, this is a very, very beneficial tool, if you will, or piece of kit or piece of gear, however you want to look at that. Now, one last piece of this, and this is kind of me selling it, if you will, and I don't usually sell it, but one of the other pieces is I looked at his site, his eBay site, before I actually sat down to do this, and the lowest he's got on there is the 2-piece, and it's $9.95. Okay, this is a 7. This is a 7-piece, and it was $19.95. All right, at that price point, number one, it's one of the cheapest on the market. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's one of the more inexpensive on the market. Okay. I don't mean to say cheapest because it's, you know, cheaply made, because as you saw just in some of the little pieces, it's not cheaply made. Here's one of the tests for you, okay? So always look at the fact that will they fall out? Will they jump out? No is the answer, okay? It's like doing an Etch-a-Sketch. The sucker doesn't move at all, right? So it's got them tightly fashioned in there, and it ain't going. Now, why is that beneficial? I don't have to worry about losing my shells. I don't have to worry about losing my strip of shells. And some of the other ones I've seen on the market are actually made of durable plastic or high industrial plastic. I saw one of them that was made of Kydex that was formed, and the problem with that is, even though Kydex does well at keeping them tight, one of the things I didn't like about it was, again, I could only use one size. Okay, so this kind of goes back to a one size fits all. So for that amount, you know, like I said, 20 bucks for 7. Hey, buy you a couple of them. Or if you just want a 2, and it would be no problem to mount 2 on the top of my shotgun if I wanted to do that. Now, that would hinder my sight. I might put it on the front underneath to try to do it that way, but that kind of gives you the thought pattern of where could I put these. Again, one more piece of that is being able to go in and mount them on a cabinet, inside of a cabinet, under a desk, beside a desk, on the side of the desk, under a dashboard, on the door frame of a vehicle, behind the driver's seat, the column where your seatbelt goes down, having it all right there. These are beneficial not just from a civilian standpoint, but from a military and police standpoint. Okay, so my opinion, again, my opinion, keeping in mind, guys, that's all this is my opinion and what I think about the product and what that's how I'll review them. I think that several police departments need to grab some of these. I do. So if you're in a police department, check them out. I think this is something that could be very beneficial to y'all. Whether you do have it in the riot gear, whether you do have it mounted with a shotgun, and I know in some of the vehicles, the police vehicles, the shotgun mount sits here, but it's got a nice plate on it. It's easy enough to actually attach the 5 or the 7 straight up to the side mount. Again, you could have it right inside the column where the seat belt slides into the door frame. All right, so that's kind of it, guys. It's very short, but I did want to get a chance to talk to you about this. My next video is going to be about the sling. He's got a nice sling, and I'm going to show you the iterations of that, the 2 iterations that I had. I had the 1.0. My fault, didn't get a chance to get to that. We'll talk about that next time. But the newest one is, in my opinion, I'll just put it bluntly, freaking awesome. All right, it is a good piece of kit. So check it out. I'll put a link down below in the comments. But it is QuadraTactical is the gear, and the gentleman's name is Andrew Quadrato. So Quadrato, Andrew Quadrato. And brother, again, if I blew your name, I am sorry, man. But that's the way I read it. And when we talk next time, you can correct me. All right. Until then, hey, keep your kit. Make sure you're enhancing your gear. Make sure you check all the facts before you buy something. And you know what? Until then, use your instincts to survive. Thanks for watching.